There's a car approaching. Don't cross the white line. Watch your mirrors.
Absolutely, and also to his right.
All right.
I always forget to mention him in the beginning, but this guy to the right of Jason is going to bring all the camera action.
Happy Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen.
Whatever he's got thrown at you tonight, that's going to be Mr. Dustin Loxton. How you doing?
Welcome to Bristol.
I had to make an appearance.
And you are not seeing anything wrong?
Dirt. Jason, you said
that
it.
Is
I mean, it's going to be a wild show. It really
dirt.
is. You're going to see multi-lanes. You're going to see
on Bristol, and we are driving the trucks.
You're going to see slider lines. I mean, it's you're going to see lead changes going into the corner, coming out of the corner. It's going to be an awesome show.
So, yep, full throttle sim racing.
You guys are racing out there on the official racing and dirt. You know the high line is definitely, it prevails on this track late in the run.
Full throttle sim racing, Martin Sports Truck Series on Bristol dirt.
So you got to use your skill and not the outside wall to maintain your speed. And these guys like asphalt. Only a couple of these guys really know dirt. So the wall is your best friend if you can use it.
Honestly.
So, you know, we're going to see a lot of different racing styles out here.
As bad as the track is, I'm using my race setup.
Ryan Chapman, he's leading the thing by 26 points. We don't know what he looks like on dirt. This will be our first.
So, Tony said has a 444 in it, and for qualifying, I'm putting a 457 in it.
Really logging laps.
So when it bogs down, I can try to get a little bit oomph off the corner.
I finished 7th. Only a few guys were entered, obviously, because this doesn't count for your.
It's just a click, man. It's just a click.
It counts for your dirt almost. So that's why a lot of guys can really take the advantage to run. But if you're some of these guys who have been running some of the open stuff for C-Fix, some of the open stuff for the C-Class, and some of the fixed stuff. I ran the fixed stuff. I can tell you it's going to be a handful tonight. A lot of these guys you talked about, Jeremy, they're primarily asphalt, pavement, concrete type guys. And some of these guys, they like dirt. And one guy, though, you know, I'm seeing a few different guys, you know, as we ride on board with Richie Coy. Richie's currently 4th up on the board, short track guy. Struggled back on Monday night at Richmond in the Cup Series. He's looking to try to have himself a good run here tonight in the Martin Sports Truck Series.
So,
Stephen Allen, the number 14, he's doing good.
Been practicing here for an hour.
Right now.
Track is pretty much junk.
Not enough to really count.
And qualifying is going to be on this track. We're not going to reset the state for qualifying. So I know everybody's qualifying setup's probably out to lunch now.
Some of the guys who you usually see up at the front probably are going to be in the back.
Yeah, and one notable mention to see Sylvain Jolly. He's trying to make a start here tonight. This is his first appearance in 2023. If you're used to watching us do this in 2022 with the FTSR boys, Sylvain Jolly was part of the Truck Series last season. So he's making his season debut tonight. A couple other mentions as well. 2 penalties provided at Texas last week. So Seth Vaughn, if he does show up, he will be starting at the end of the longest line. Also joining him, who is currently on track, is number 18, Mr. Joseph McKinney. So 2 EOL penalties issued last week, and so that might change little things up for them starting this race tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you want to try to have a good run here tonight, you're going to have to keep it off the wall.
I hope so.
Don't get me wrong. This is a track where aero isn't really going to play a huge factor, but you still want to keep it out of the wall because the second you slam that wall, Jeremy, it is hard, and I mean super hard to get out of it. And I mean, you're almost like...
All right, here we go for qualifying.
So it's going to be super hard for these guys.
No idea what to really expect here as far as what people qualify at.
You want to really keep the tires.
I know it ain't going to be their fast lap.
Obviously on the dirt, not up into the wall, up into the catch fence, the grandstand. So those guys who are going to have to start the back, they're going to have to make their way up quick because it is hard to pass unless you are a dirt guy.
Yeah, 100%. And we're going to actually have Dustin kick it over to Tony Solari, Tyler Brown, who won practice. We usually ride along with the first place truck in practice, but he's not on track right now, so we're going to bring the action from Mr. Solari, who did finish second here last year, the winner last year here.
Ooh, that was a good lap.
He is not a part of the season for 2023A in FTSR. So right now, Tony Solari is the best finisher from last year's race here. He knows dirt. He knows road courses. This is more of a specialty for his team. So let's see what he does out here.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, that's what Tony Solari is, Jeremy. We talked about it with Fury Motorsports. He's their dirt guy. I mean, when it comes to dirt setups, I mean, that's what, you know, Richie Coy and Brody Hanna, You know, they come to Tony for guidance on that one there, just like Tony has been going to them for guidance on the, you know, the oval side. And he credited them on Monday for, you know, that big
smack, huh?
helping him on that. So, I mean, it's a total team effort there. I mean, but this man here that we're watching right now, he knows dirt.
Yeah, he definitely.
Brody goes from, let's see if I can make 2 laps to he's back to third.
Qualifying time runs a 19.9. Richie Coy out of nowhere with a 19.5 here, currently running P1 here on the boards. He said he might be okay, but right now that lap time's showing that he knows his stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I'm looking right now, and Tyler Brown is currently taking his lap. I expect him to be at the top, just like he was here in practice. We're going to have to see where he ends up.
We didn't want to make it easy for you this year, Tony.
Currently second on the board, only off by about 0.05 of a second. We're going to have to see how he does on his second lap. That's the thing. You just got to rip it down to the bottom. Let the car kind of gradually and naturally just kind of, you know, get loose whenever it wants it. It's all about throttle control tonight. Then you want to try to get the throttle down.
You had a couple guys that ran 4s in practice.
Tyler Brown still second up on the board, so Richie Coy actually is going to be able to maintain that pole position for the time being. I see a few guys right now. Randy Henshaw in the second, he's currently taking a lap. Justin Dilt, Alan Duranko, so a few guys still up right now, but it's going to be hard to knock off Richie Coy with that flyover lap he had.
Riding on board with Alan Duranko here, taking his lap, runs a 20.0 to open it up, and he makes wall contact through turn 1 and 2, so that'll abort lap number 2, so he's going to run solidly. It looks like in 8th place at the moment.
I can't see the truck lasting doing that the entire race.
Left not taking any time. TJ Bartel currently on track. That number 1 running pretty strong this year. Let's see what he can do. He's coming up a little slow through 1 and 2, getting his... Can't really warm up your tires here on dirt, but he's going to give it his best here, coming through 3 and 4 for his opening lap. And
all right, make sure you get Tony's race setup in.
There, Jason.
Yeah, you can just see some of these guys are not really designed to run dirt per se. I mean, you can just see how much TJ Bartel is struggling. Look at how loose he is. It's like he doesn't know exactly how to maintain that throttle. He's just really shaking the wheel back and forth. And this is coming from a guy who was running very, very well in Monday night.
So, yeah, so I guess we're paid even for my hints on Monday.
Really struggling. Currently, that last time around, 21.31 seconds. So pretty much 2 seconds slower than Richie Coy and TJ Bartel in the number 1 machine. He's currently
his pit lane stuff that he stole from me that he used that made his race better.
We're gonna go slinging some mud and dirt.
Well, I guess you could also consider us using the other setup was actually good for Tony too.
What kind of work are you gonna be putting in tonight for us in those camera angles?
Well, I expect that there's probably going to be a lot of side-by-side racing. We're going to try to get as much action as what we possibly can on these cameras, try to get some onboards, really get people in the feel of what it takes to fling these trucks around here side by side. Like I said, these guys always put on a good show, and they always keep me busy. I wouldn't have it any other way.
100%. You are the
points leader is
bringing
6th
all
right
the
now.
camera angles we see every time we come live here on Nerd TV for any league. But 21 seconds left. I see nobody else really on track. I think
there goes that track state.
Was that one truck there, the 32? Last one out here to potentially take time. As he's coming through turns 3 and 4 here. Not looking comfortable as well. Barely making the line with 7 seconds left in the session. Going to end out with a 21.604, and that'll be your last truck to post time. That's going to put him P21.
Bobby, you might just want to go down the back stretch and front stretch and find your pit box.
Off your screen and get down and dirty here at Bristol. We're going to give.
I don't think we need to pit though.
For tonight's Bristol 125 here in the Mark Sports Truck Series. Mr. Richie Coy is going to take home P1. Tyler Brown's going to start on his outside in 2nd. Brody Hanna in 3rd. Stephen Hollingsworth in 4th. Lane Allen 5th. Ryan Chapman's going to start in 6th, see if he can hold that spot there to maintain his point lead. Tony Solari, the fastest truck last year, will be in 7th. Alan Duranko 8th. Colton Gum in 9th. And the rounding out the top 10, the 55, Jeff Brayton.
Yeah, and then to round out your top 20, you have Sullivan Jolly there, the number 08 machine. Nick Goebel in the 25. 13th is Cody McKinney. 14th is Tommy Schaefer. 15th, Bobby Terrell. 16th, Joey McKinney. 17th, Sherwood Williford. 18th, Kyle Milliken. 19th, TJ Bartel. And 20th in the number 69 machine is Steve Angie.
21st, we're going to have Randy Henshaw. 22nd, Maxwell Solsch. 23rd, JP Burns. 24th will be Rick Webb. 25th, Stephen Loomis. 26th, James Torrey. 27th, Justin Diltz. 28th, Michael Blackner. 29th, Brandon Elder. And the 30th place truck, and the last one in the field, Mr. Joshua. I see you. Me and Jason.
Also, a quick note on dirt: don't rely solely on your spotters. Spotters don't work good when guys are running low and really high. So just use your relatives and your mirrors and just pay attention. Good luck, everyone.
Always a character, Jeremy.
I try to be, man. I try to be. Couple new rules too out here tonight.
Thank you, guys.
3 pit box rule. So if you guys aren't familiar with that, it's essentially if your pit
the
stall
pace car,
is where it's
the
at,
outside lane.
you can use up 3
shit.
spots before and the 3 stalls afterwards to enter your pit stall. But if you exit and touch the 4th box, you come in and enter touching the 4th box, and you're caught.
And Seth Vaughn.
Penalty up to admin discretion. Don't know exactly.
I don't even know if he's here.
But so that's something to maybe potentially watch out for.
Yes.
And then
Number 16, I think.
Texas race, there was a caution, like literally a half a lap before stage end, and they had to do a quick little dash to the finish. If that incident does happen again, these guys will just extend the caution to end the stage, so there's no little quick sprint there. So just a couple little rule notations, and like I said earlier,
he starts on dirt suck.
He's going to be dropping to the rear, so even though he did not qualify, or he qualified at 16th, but he should be.
All right, guys, good luck. 125 laps of dirt fun.
Yeah, he's going to have to try to make up as many spots as he can. Obviously, some guys, they're good on dirt. Obviously, some guys aren't. So hopefully, he can try to really make his
Not with
way back
30
up
cars on it, they won't.
in a hurry, pick up as many spots as he can. I mean, this is 125 laps, and I'll tell you what, man, I ran 90 laps in that fixed race last night at 1:15 in the morning, or 1:45, whatever it was. And I will tell you that I was genuinely sweating at the end of that. Obviously, it was my
Hey, just spun wheels.
back on iRacing in a little bit months. I only had a few laps of practice, but I went out there, I ran some laps, and man, this truck is a handful. And
I may just restart 4th next time.
Agonizingly slow to race 90 laps here. So these guys are going to have 125 laps to sling some dirt, pick up some track position, and show these virtual sim racing fans and fans over here on Nerd TV a good time.
And here we go. You see the track is at 0% state. They reset it here for the green flag, and here we go. 125 laps in the Mark Sports Truck Series as they barrel off into turn number 1. Who's going to have speed early? Who's going to cause some faults early? We're about to find out here.
I'm going to try 3rd this time, see if that's better.
27, Ryan Chapman. Already
watch out, guy in the front stretch.
Looks like he's going to be sitting in 4th coming to the line this time. 3 wide right behind him with the number 2 of the Broncos, 23 Brody Hanna, and the 14 of Lane Out.
Yeah.
And caution number 1 on lap number 2,
that truck looks hurt.
presented by Roasted Jim's Copy, coming off the exit of turn number 4. Jason, these guys piled him up. It looks like Sherwood Williford and TJ Bartel.
If that's funny.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, man, because Sherwood's always a very, very good driver. We'll have to take a look and see what happened here. Looks like heading into 3 and 4, it just gets a little too high. 69 starts coming down. Unfortunately, gets plowed into by the number 1 of TJ Bartel. The number 99 is also involved. That was JP Burns. So an unfortunate break for that number 33. Kevin Harvick, Chevy Rock and Roll, Looney Tunes, Chevy.
I'm not sure I want to get the track position.
Unfortunate circumstances for some guys so early on, but Jeremy, this is the kind of thing that we might see a lot tonight. Hopefully we don't see a lot of cautions, but like we talked about, some of these guys good on dirt, and some of these guys aren't. Unfortunately, just making mistakes early on there.
Yeah, it's dirt racing, and like I said, these guys are mainly oval, or asphalt. So look like the 69 Steve and
I spun wheels and let 2 go by me.
To make good corner exit. 33 of Williford overshot the entrance and slid up through the center of the corner. And those guys just could not find the same real estate. You cannot do that. Physics in any life, any multiverse that you're in, will not allow that. So they made contact, they spun out TJ Bartel, innocent victim, and he plowed the water barrels there.
And NASCAR's definitely running this thing. I don't know why we're still in the pacing here. Let's go. Come on.
Prepared. Not looking good early on, but 3 trucks involved on that incident on technically lap number 2 as they just crossed the line for that. But Tyler Brown's going to resume this thing in 1st, and Stephen Hollingsworth 2nd, so a complete different front row here.
Yeah, already some guys, though, making some headway towards the front. You have Joshua O'Connor Sr. +8 from where he started. Michael Blackner up 8 spots. Steve Loomis +6. A few other guys dropping positions. Obviously, Sherwood Williford -10 currently up on the board. But I expect Tyler Brown to try to get a strong start like he did on that initial start. And don't count out Richie Coy. I think if this race does get green, Richie knows how to kind of maintain his line.
We're not wearing off the track like this.
I think he has the opportunity to try to catch Tyler Brown or Stephen Hollingsworth and actually make a pass because, like I had said, he's very good at holding his line, knows how to be consistent. Richie Coy definitely going to be a man on a mission here towards the front.
You'll probably see that here in the lap and a half. And cautions are going to happen here. It's just nature of the beast. We already see it on lap 2. And last year overall, this was a pretty good race. But there was a lot of new faces out here that we have not seen on dirt yet. So a lot of unknowns here about these guys. We know our front runners, Richie Coy, Tony Slaughter, those guys are going to be pulling. Tyler Brown looks to have some early excellent speed. So does Ryan Chapman and Duranco. So a couple of these guys we know are fast. A couple of these guys we don't know. So we usually see some switching of positions. So I expect a lot more of the guys in the back to maybe be in the front long run. As this track changes, right now it has a ton of grip for a dirt standard, but 50, 60 laps in, this track gets really dark, almost dark as a roasted Jim's coffee ground, and it really just gets slick. It's like you're driving on ice, so you will see those guys fall to the back that can't handle their trucks late in the run. So there's a lot of variables here, and you will notice every single one of those things.
Yeah, these guys are going to be searching for every piece of dirt. Like dirt speck in the corners and stuff like that. I noticed too, you'll see this track get shaded very dark, just like you said, Jeremy. Obviously, gets rubber put down on it. There is grip there, but it gets really slick and starts to kind of lose it. So you're going to see a lot of these guys go from the bottom up to the top as the run progresses. It's still multi-groove right now. We're getting ready to go back green here on lap 8.
Pace truck down, green flag is out. Premature Patrick ready at the go, and green flag does wave now entering turn number 1. These guys are all side by side. The 0-0 Tyler Brown barely clears the 30 as Stephen Hollingsworth through the corner. Top 3 single file side by side with teammates Richie Coy and Brody Hanna. They're now single file here. Races on back to the 10.
Yeah, we're looking at the 55 machine now. Jeff Breton there on the bottom side of the racetrack trying to make some headway right now. Everybody just searching for grip, searching for what line their truck is going to run the best, what they feel most comfortable with. You're going to see some guys on the bottom, some guys in the middle, some guys on the top. Brad right now on the inside in 11, still working Colton Gum in that number 88 machine as they hit lap number 10.
Already at lap 10, lap 40 is our stage breaks. We're already at 25% away through this short stint here before the guys come down the pit road and refuel. It's dirt, you don't need tires. You see one truck in the wall, looks like the 88 of Colton Gum, slightly grazes the wall, loses the spot on that transfer there. Purdy racing back here midway through the field. Front runners are still running strong, but everybody else is still searching for grip early on.
Yeah, everybody's searching for grip still, Jeremy. You're just seeing these guys, they can't even really get on the throttle fully. I mean, they are on the throttle fully, but you'll see here as we look at Colton Gum, that number 88 machine. Look at these guys. Their truck just wants to veer off to the right, and yes, they're trying to arc it into the corner, but down the straightaways, these guys, man, they're trying to just put down the power the best they can. Oh, we got some contact. 25 around in front of the field. The 28 involved. The 23 of Nick Goebel. Roasted Gems Coffee caution flag is out. Big pileup. Still more contact in the back. The number 69 machine involved. A couple other guys. Big one heading into turn 3 on lap number 13, Jeremy.
Nick Goebel enters turn 1 really sideways, tries to try to correct it, overdoes it, comes up the track and tail slaps the 23 of Brody Hanna, last week's winner in Texas. They kept it going straight, but then the 14 Lane Allen just came in and pile drove the back of Nick Goebel. It sends him off into a multi-truck wreck. Looked like 3 or 4 initially. 88 Colton Gum. It looks like the number 4 Bobby Terrell. And you said as they kind of get it going, those trucks are still piled up at the bottom. And so 23 comes up, hits the 69 of Steve Angie, and it looks like one other truck there involved. Looks like maybe the 54 there of Rick Webb. So about 7 trucks involved in this thing. TJ Bartell again involved in both incidences here early on.
Yeah, you can just see here, Jeremy, look at how hard it is for these guys to slow up. Because remember, there is no grip. There's the 54 hard into the number 69 machine. That was Rick Webb. The 69 machine, I believe, is Steve Angie. So it's so hard to get stopped, just like the actual concrete Bristol track. We've seen it before. We've seen Kevin Harvick lose a race while in the lead because these guys wreck. There's nowhere to go. Obviously, this track being so wide, but the thing is, compared to the concrete, obviously, this is dirt, baby. You don't have a lot of...
All right, so we're 15 laps in, 2 yellows in.
On ice. So you better be on the binders very, very quickly if there is a wreck in front of you, because it's going to be very, very hard.
Started on the pole, haven't let a rock.
Try to avoid a wreck here tonight if there is one in front
closed.
Excellent camera work by Dustin to show the angle.
I figure the track will start to go away here. Eventually, we'll start to pick up a little bit.
Making his way through that wreck. Also notated 91 Justin Diltz hit the bottom truck there, the number 1 TJ Bartel. So that ups the count to about 8 or 9 trucks involved in that one. So, I mean, we're 14 laps in. We already got the big one posted. Up to this point, hopefully nothing else happens of that nature. But it is Bristol.
Right, so third gear shifting was an absolute disaster as well. We're going to try to start fourth, see what happens.
Of just crowded track. It does wash itself out eventually, but it's really tough to avoid a wreck. I know there's no smoke, but it's just a parking lot. So you have to get woed up. But with dirt, you can't slow up. You can do a little bit, but you eventually slide and you just kind of pray and hopefully you don't hit anybody.
Yeah, and it's just going to be difficult all night for some of these guys to try to really get slowed up and avoid wrecks if there is one in front.
This time I'm trying fourth.
It's even hard, Jeremy, when there's a guy up on the outside wall and you're following him in the corner, or even if he tries to bounce off the wall and get it safe because he's still gathering it up, you know, and then you got to try to avoid it, but you really can't because if you get on the brakes, you're just going to get loose and spin out, or you're going to lose all that momentum and try to get back on the throttle. You just can't because of how slick the racetrack is. So these drivers are really being tested tonight with their skill. And so far up at the front, Tyler Brown, Stephen Hollingsworth, Richie Coy, Ryan Chapman, Alan Barranco, top 5. Michael Blackner and Joshua O'Connor Sr., 16th and 18th. They're up 12 from where they started so far. Hopefully they can try to get towards the front of the field here if they can get a long green flag run.
Pace truck is down. The first 2 trucks are going to start in the same spots as they did last restart here. Green flag is out. The 00 Tyler Brown gets a decent start, able to clear the 30, and Stephen Hollingsworth early as they exit turn 1 into turn 2, clean all the way through the field. Looks like almost a little bit of 3-wide action there as well. Sorry to cut you off. I was trying to see what exactly was going on mid-pack. And we've got some contact here. Looks like with Tommy Shea from the 29, if I'm not, nope, not, I'm sorry about that. A little bit further on through the field. Looks like they get it straightened out though. No harm, no foul. I want to quickly jump to the chats too, if I could. Diane Chapman, and of course, always bring on for Ryan Chapman saying, "Go Ryan, go!" And then Jason, you got Tommy Dostricher for you saying, "Jason Rockefeller, W at announcing."
Yeah, thank you. That's my buddy Tommy Doherty. Great guy. Been one of my best friends since kindergarten. So I appreciate all my friends and family that always watch us and show the work that Dustin can put on the screen and the work that we can do together up in the booth and show them what sim racing is all about. Because it's not just turning left, guys. You know, this takes a lot of skill. You know, and some of these guys compete every year to try to go chase $300,000 in an eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing series. And I mean, if you're Tyler Brown, you could probably compete on a Tuesday night here at Bristol Dirt. He just ran 18.86 that last time around. Still digging. Look at him. He's cranking that wheel almost 360 degrees, man. I tell you what, Jeremy, this kid's probably not even really laying off that much. He's got to be really laying off in the corner barely and then mashing the gas through the center, because that's really what it takes to really get around here if you want to carry the momentum off the corner.
And you're seeing that wheel work through the corner, and that is actually a really clean lap. Not really working the wheel as much as these other guys. That is very smooth, very consistent each and every corner. You can almost see identical wheel movements through each corner, allowing him to just carry so much speed on exit 2. He's not really hesitating. He's run the same exact groove every single corner. And he's just putting on a clinic over here, already 1.5 seconds over second place Stephen Hollingsworth. Over almost 2 seconds now over the 19 of Richie Coy. Top 5, top 6 really starting to space out here, Jason. As we're starting to see, you know, some tameness in the field. Maybe we'll get the green flag over the stage in.
Yeah, maybe, but I wouldn't really count on it per se. And hey, don't count on anybody throughout this entire field. Don't think that Tyler Brown is going to run away with this. A lot of these guys are still posting their fastest laps, learning this track. Once they get more comfortable, they're going to be more competitive. Yes, Tyler is by far, from what we've seen these first 26 laps, the truck to beat. But by saying that, we've seen it time and time again here, Jeremy, even on concrete Bristol. And it happens here at regular Bristol. You've seen drivers where they're going to get involved in a wreck, and the next thing you know, the leader's coming by right behind them, and then boom, slam, crash. They're out of this thing. That could very well happen to Tyler Brown. I hope it doesn't. I tend to have the commentator's curse, though, but it is a very high possibility. And like we talked about earlier, too, Jeremy, very hard to get your truck stopped through the center of the corner and down the straightaway with this long dirt.
It certainly is. And I want to go back to Tommy's comment. I think I called his name Daughtry. I just had that in my mind, so I know it's Doherty as you corrected me there. So glad you corrected me. I noticed it late. I'm like, well, I butchered it, but it's too late. It's already on live TV here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, wherever you're watching us live. So my apologies there. Going back to the field, 2.5 second now lead for Tyler Brown over Stephen Hollingworth. Really just still increasing that gap each and every lap. I think I'm going to have to agree with you. You can show up on a Tuesday night and show up with the Coca-Cola boys. Get the job done. A couple notables too. Bobby Terrell, I think he finished 4th last year here on the dirt race. He's currently running 11th, about midfield with his new team for the season over at the same team, Hershey Coy, over at going blank on the name. Fury Motorsports, thank you, Dustin. Always play Mary like Mike Reynolds there on the microphone, but they've already got a lot of people lapped down. 18th on back is at least 1 lap down, and James Torrey and Colton Gum, those guys have already exited their trucks and are done for the night, so a couple of early exits there. We got a little 3-wide action with the 25 right in the middle here.
Yeah, interesting to see right there, the number 25 machine. And also there's the 42 of Milliken. He's trying to work around those guys. You see the 32 as well behind him. That's Randy Hinshaw there, just trying to get some laps in. 4 makes a little bit of contact there. Bobby Terrell, I believe he slapped the wall off the corner. Everybody jockeying for position now down into turns 3 and 4. Kyle Milliken all the way up to the top side of the racetrack. He's trying to make a move right now on, I believe, that is the number 25 machine. That is Nick Goebel. So all these guys continuing to go multiple laps down. But Jeremy, that's not very uncommon here. You know, that's how Bristol dirt races usually when it comes to these iRacing events. These guys are trying to get some knowledge. I mean, look at Tyler Brown right now, currently just ripping that bottom side, ripping every line that he can, slinging the dirt up onto his onto the rear of his truck. Obviously, to get past all these guys, and a lot of these guys right now, they're just trying to fight. Hopefully, see Tyler Brown possibly maybe choke up.
This might be one of those where we need to extend it.
Right there. I guess commentator's curse happens. Roasted Gems Coffee caution flag is out for, I believe, the 3rd time of the night here on lap 36.
3rd time of the night. You are correct there. Trying to figure, I did not actually catch that one in particular. We're going to go back a lap and figure what happened out here. We're 7 laps shy of the stage, so we will go back to the
heads up
before stage end. Probably have about a 3 or 2 lap shootout.
Right.
I think, yeah, the 69, Steve Angie coming through, or entering turn 3. He got a little help by the 28. Just plows him into the square.
30 just bit him.
Sends him off into the corner, spins him out, and that's going to bring out your 3rd caution tonight.
Yeah, we're going to take a look here at the Nerd TV replay. Yep, unfortunate. A little too much mustard. Just goes around, does a full 360, keeps it going in that number 69 machine. Steve Angie, good job of saving, but so far tonight, he has not had the night that he's wanted, obviously, but still on the lead lap, currently inside the top 20. Hopefully, he'll be able to make up some spots. That damage isn't really going to play too much of a factor.
Spaghetti and meatballs.
But you just see right there, just a little too much mustard there on the bottom. Got on the throttle. A little too early heading into the
38
center.
still pacing.
Kicked it up to full throttle instead of partially going onto it and gradually getting back to a full throttle off turn number 2, I believe it was right there.
Yeah, he really was assisted by Cody McKinney. I had to go back and make sure it was 28. Cody McKinney just, I don't know what that, it looks like the 69 Steve Angie was really slow entering the corner, and 28 did not recognize that situation. And we already talked about it twice now. You just really can't get slowed up here. So unfortunate there, but we were going to have a nice little short run stint to the stage end, probably 2 or 3 laps. So I expect a lot of chaos.
All right, we're getting 2 to go on lap 39.
Before you set off for the other 70 laps plus here to end this race tonight.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, we talked about 125 laps. It feels like an eternity. Like I said, I ran that 90-lap fixed race the other night at almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and man, I was sweating by the end of it. It really works your arms. You got to be on the binders or hurts your foot. Both feet, depending on if you run 2 foot or 1 foot. I mean, this track is just very, very grueling, especially for cars that don't really have a lot of horsepower for a car that's meant to be on dirt. Obviously, these are cars that are meant to run on asphalt dirt.
Yes, sir. On the go.
410 sprint cars. We're not racing big block modifieds. We're not racing super late models. These guys don't have a lot of horsepower, so they're really having to work it. But when they do get on the throttle, it feels like they have so much horsepower, but the truck doesn't really want to grip it. So it's going to be interesting to see which one of these guys are going to be able to master the dirt here tonight. So far, though, Tyler Brown doing a very, very good job. But Rishi Coy currently up to the second spot.
It just says it, but doesn't do it.
Chase down Tyler Brown. Hopefully, he can do that here on this restart.
Yes, sir. Coming to 41 now. This is the end of 30. End of 40.
They have extended the caution. I know I mentioned during the pre-race that it would only be a
I say we restart.
to end the stage if it was like on the same lap. But at the moment, we are currently on lap 40, and then they have extended the caution. So I do believe, Jason, this will be the end of stage 1 out of stage 2. So that's going to put Tyler Brown 10 points up.
So it just added another lap?
Richie Coy needed a
yeah, just let it go.
Catch Ryan Chapman, who's directly behind him now.
If we just got to do another lap and another 3, then that's fine.
Ryan Chapman, and then so to the top 10. The top 10 does.
No, we're going. This is coming back to 1 to go.
Spots during the stage, but congratulations to Tyler on that one. This will be stage in, I do believe, and we're going to get set for stage 2.
Yep. We'll have to see here what Tyler Brown's able to do here in the second stage. Been so strong here tonight, but hopefully he'll be able to maintain that lead and pick himself up a Martin Sports Truck Series victory here tonight for Bristol, Germany.
We're going to have a short commercial break here for you guys. Go picture-in-picture mode real fast, and we'll be back right before the green flag. Stay tuned.
All right, here we go. Another restart after our stage.
Green, 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 let's go.
Real quick commercial break, but we are here. We're about to go back to green flag action. As Mr. Tyler Brown, the 00, is going to lead us off for stage 2 to end this race. 125 laps to make the race end. We are currently going to be restarting on lap 43. Green flag is out. These guys are underway. A little tail happy here. Try to get the tires to stick. Coming through turns 1 and 2. Looks like we're already 3 wide with Tony Slaughter in the middle, Delaranco on the top, and Lane Allen here on the bottom. Looks like they're able to still hold 3 wide. Looks like Tony Slaughter will fall back to the top side right behind Delaranco to sort that out. It's still 2 by 2 all the way through the field.
Yeah, everybody's still 2 by 2 trying to figure out which lane they can try to get up to or get down to try to make that run towards the front of the field. Obviously, Tony Solari still trying to do a great job here tonight, like he's been. Now Tommy Schaefer trying to put Steve Hollingsworth under the binders here and try to pass him as they work their way off turn number 4. And you saw the 14 right there. Stephen Allen got super loose through the corner. Everybody, and look at Tony Solari had to really check up there. 14 was coming down the racetrack, heading off turn number 2. What a heads-up driving move there by Tony Solari, Monday night's Richmond Cup Series winner. And he's still slamming that throttle down off the corner, trying to get past Stephen Allen here. And this is for the 5th spot.
They're doing a great job here, maintaining the top 5, trying to get around, just no grip. The bottom of the track is starting to lose it. You've seen Duranco top, Tommy Shea from the 29. He's at the top. And you're starting to see grooves at the bottom and top here, Jason. Looking through the corner, See a little bit of a lighter dirt color there in the center, but it gets really dark at the top, really dark at the bottom, so that shows you where the two preferred lanes are, which typically on dirt, that's exactly where you see it. The middle lane always is the last one to get worked in. See the 14 lane out, and he's working it in right now just behind the 27 here of Chapman. And Chapman's doing a great job. He is right on the back bumper of the Richie Coy Ford F-150. You're taking a look at him now coming through turn 3 here. He's going to try to make the bottom pass happen. It's really hard to get it to stick down there, and you see that there's no progressive banking on the dirt. But dirt, as any dirt driver knows, the top side is preferred usually.
Well, I tell you what, Jeremy, while these two battle, look behind him in the rearview mirror. You see Alan Duranko currently flying up on that top side. If he can just keep on getting the drives off that he needs to. He's really good on entry and in the center, but off the corner, he's just not exactly as smooth. The truck kind of swings out and it gets really straight very quickly. You see him right there, scrubs off a little bit of speed, but here he goes off too. Just kind of has to correct it a little bit, not making up the most ground that he wants to. Definitely sliding it in a little much, but he's really doing a great job. Probably the only one I've seen who's been close to the wall right there. A little bit of contact behind him between the 11 of Tony Solari and the number 14 of Stephen Allen, and also brings in Stephen Hollingsworth into the picture. The 14 hits the wall off the corner. One truck up in front of them, up into the wall. I'm not too sure who it is. It's an orange and black truck. I believe it's the number 89, I believe, of Maxwell Solch. He just keeps on slamming the wall as everybody tries to avoid him. They're 3 wide for position here, though, off turn number 2.
This is where your dirt count really has to kick into play. You practice for this moment, and some guys just can't handle it. And it looks like Solch is having a troublesome time getting through these corners. As you said, hitting the wall almost every single corner as this track just gets more and more slick. I'm really watching some of these guys that are really digging on the top. The cushion's kind of building up, so you can use the cushion to kick your truck back off the wall and get great launches off corner, exit, and even help the center and corner. But I'm using my speed reference point from that 00 Tyler Brown. He's not running the wall just yet. He's still running about mid-track, and he's carrying all that speed. So I still think speed is going to be in the middle of the track, maybe at the very bottom. If you can touch your left front wheel on the apron to get that truck to rotate a little bit more without using the throttle, that might be the way to go. But you know, Duranko's doing a hell of a job keeping up at the very tip top of the track and not losing any momentum.
Yeah, we have a Roast Gems caution right now. Going to be interesting to see what happened there. But yeah, Jeremy, to touch up on your note there, a lot of these guys, you talk about Tyler Brown really being the key point with speed. A lot of these guys, they're just trying to run lines like Tyler Brown, but everybody obviously running different lines. You see the number 89 of Solch, unfortunately, into the wall, gets tapped by the 59, makes contact with Sherwood Williford, hard contact. I believe that was down the front straightaway there. So big break for the number 89 after having such a heartbreaking last few laps, been in the wall constantly, and that might be the end of Maxwell Solch's night.
Yeah, he just came off the wall, we just mentioned how he hit the wall so many times, and yeah, the 59er and Joshua O'Connor just taps him in the rear, just could not get that thing wound up, and poor Sherwood Williford, he was already slow, right? He was just trying to let these guys go by on the top, and then he gets demolished, straight T-bone, and then flipped over the pit wall when he was trying to stay out of harm's way. So that's twice tonight. We saw TJ Bartell on lap 2 incident, just an innocent victim, and then here we go on lap 54, same incident with Sherwood Williford, just could not.
So the 00 just pitted and he came back out in ninth.
Gave him about 5 truck lengths to the top, and then boom, he gets flipped over the wall. So it's just part of the dirt racing where there's a lot of unknowns with a lot of drivers, and nowhere on this track is safe, and we're seeing the Lucky Dog
stage caution.
Hashtag Get a Grip Lucky Dog Award presented by Martin Sports going to the number 25, that being Nick Goebel, who has also had a very eventful night this race tonight, but he will get his lap back, and that'll put him, I think,
is he dropping back?
Lap. If it does, it puts him 16th.
Race car is out. Pits are closed.
Yeah, Nick Goebel just really trying to complete all the laps here tonight. You can just see how much that number 25 machine is really all torn up there. That Toyota Tundra TRD machine got right side damage. He's got
right, leaving some laps here. Hopefully we can leave some more.
The only truck right now that looks to not really be all that damage is Richie Coy, and also Tyler Brown all the way back to 11. I believe he's currently, or if not, I think he just pitted. Gonna have to check here. And Tyler,
God knows my restarts have not been good.
Just pit. A few guys also pitted. Nick Goebel's finally in the pits. Bobby Terrell, Stephen Allen, Cody McKinney, Jeff Bratton, Tommy Schaefer, a few other guys too. But okay, that's Richie, the thing here. You know, do you want fresh tires, even though it's dirt, or do you want to try to stay out there for track position? Because it's super hard to pass tonight. But no doubt about it, I think Tyler Brown, Jeremy's going to be able to climb his way through this field pretty quickly if he restarts 14th.
I was using my cameras and going back and looking at Tyler Brown's stop. He only took fuel. So that might be an interesting call. When you put the fuel into the truck, even though these guys, by not hitting on that caution, tell me they can just make it to the end, right? But he put fuel in his truck, so that's going to add more weight to the rear. Now, if that puts more pressure on the rear tire to not spin as much, maybe gives them some extra grip advantage through the center of the
fucking shift! Jesus Christ!
Or maybe
that's every time.
Too heavy in that truck, it's going to just keep sliding.
Why will you not shift into freaking fourth?
I don't know what's the right call here. I'm not a dirt expert. It's gonna be fun to watch him go through the field though, because we know he's the fastest truck, right? Just every single lap, just pulls on, pulling and pulling and pulling on Stephen Hollingsworth. And so we're gonna see here as we go back to green flag action. He's gonna start back in 14th, but focusing on the race leader, Richie Coy in the 19. Doesn't have a good start, allows the 27 of Ryan Chapman to actually beat him to the line. So Ryan Chapman's gonna be scored P1 here, coming through turns 3 and 4. Looks like they're single file through 3, but Alan Duranko and Stephen Hollingsworth, first guys side by side, battling out for the top 5.
Yeah, Tyler Brown back there has got to be really careful getting around all these guys. Obviously, restarted 14th. He's currently still in that 14th position, so he's going to have to really be careful with making his way up through this field. Hopefully, none of these guys wreck in front of him, because he's going to have nowhere to go if they do. He's going to have to be very careful. Remember, still a lot of laps to go. He knows he's the fastest truck. Gets super loose right there. Almost made contact with the 55 of Jeff Bratton there off turn number 4. But like I said, Jeremy, Tyler Brown knows he's the fastest truck out here. He's just got to be patient. A lot of laps to go here at Bristol Dirt.
Yeah, he was 3 wide a lap and a half ago and got that sorted out. But yeah, there was a little congestion there off that corner exit of the 2. Had to really blow it up and got extremely loose trying to do so. But now he's back to himself, but there is just no speed. When that high side is taken from you, you just have to just lift a lot more than if you're by yourself, and that's preventing him from making these fast lap times as he finally gets around the 55 of Brayton. Now he's looking at the 4 of Bobby Terrell. This is going to be for position 12, I do believe, as they're all kind of searching at the top of the track now. This is forcing Tyler to run the middle to bottom, which that's where he ran for the most part there as he was logging laps as your race leader. But now he doesn't have the corner exit, so it's really hurting his performance here. He got around the 4, so now he's in 12. 5.5 back now of your race leader to the 27 of Ryan Chapman, who somehow, some way, every single time we talk about him, every single Wednesday, he doesn't start up at the front, but somehow makes his way to the front right now, halfway through this event, find himself P1 once again.
Yeah, he's doing a great job right now. Richie Coy, though, was a little bit faster by about 0.2 of a second during that last time around. So Richie Coy's still hanging in there. He's back by about 6.5 tenths right now. But like we were talking about with Tyler Brown, he's currently all the way back up to 10th now. I would not recommend him really going to the top if he has the opportunity, because you're seeing a lot of guys in front of him, tank slapping the wall, getting into it in the center of the corner, really stalling out, and then that really opens up the door for him to run to the back of him, get some damage. He currently runs up to the 9th spot. So if I were him, just be patient. You know you got laps. You're probably going to get another caution. You just see some of these guys super loose off turn 4, heading into turns 1 and 2 now. Like you just saw the number 29 machine there of Tommy Schaefer, who's the first truck 1 lap down. Tyler's just got to really run that bottom. Be patient. He knows he has a fast truck. And I guarantee you, though, Jeremy, in no time he'll be up towards the front here by the end of this race.
Yeah, as he gets towards a little bit of faster trucks, only time will tell if we can make it back. We're currently on lap 70 of 125. That means we have 55 laps to go at the line, as Ryan Chapman's still holding up just over a half a second lead over the 19 of Richie Coy. I see that middle groove is almost worn completely thin, so now this is just the battle of racing the track so much. You see a little contact. Looks like that that white truck kept slapping the wall. That's the 32 there. He's been hitting that wall quite a few times over the course. That's Randy Hinshaw. Just has no grip, goes to the top because that's the only loose dirt section where the cushion's at, but it's still not containing that truck as he is still just searching as he makes contact once again. You're looking at Duranko now, right behind the number 11 of Tony Solari. Really just super close. I think they made some contact that time, but 11 did not seem to move around that much, thankfully, as he's going to try to do a slide job potentially through the corner. Yep, he tries it. Just 11 carries so much speed using that cushion, unable to make the pass this time.
Yeah, Duranko did a good job by lifting that time by. I was going to say, that 11 car, he's holding him up there, up on the top side of the racetrack. He needs to kind of search around, find other grooves. Maybe the 11 Tony Solari with running up on that cushion. Jeremy, like you talked about, getting to the wall, almost some close racing right there. You see all the dirt being picked up out of the rear of these trucks. And now the 2, he's going to try to go back to the top, switches back down to the bottom, hopes that the 11 Solari will get to the wall. But Tony's been doing a great job here tonight. Again, Monday night's Cup Series winner at Richmond, doing a fantastic job here. You see the 2 close up on the top. If Duranko can just get by the 11, or maybe the 11 slips up and gives Duranko that top side, I think Allen can probably fly by Solari. He's going to try the slide job almost here. Off turn number 4, not enough. They're still side by side, this time by the line for the 3rd and 4th spot.
I love that slide job there by the 2. He didn't slide job in front of the 11, but he did slide right into that middle groove, which still is kind of existent there. It's not completely thinned out just yet. So he's able to get a good corner exit by hitting it just on the right rear tire. Tries again this time. Looks like the 17 of Steve Loomis is going to prevent a little bit of a roadblock situation. And they get around him 3 wide pretty cleanly. But the 2 of Duranko is able to get the nose cleared. Nope, he had to keep it down in the middle of the track. But I think this time around, through 3 and 4, Duranko is going to hold off Tony Solari, makes that pass happen. Now he's got to focus on a couple of these trucks in front of him before he gets to the race leader. So good job by Duranko. Now resumes on the top. Going to make the 11 work for it, which I don't think that's going to be a thing. As they go off into turn 3.
Yeah, Duranko was really working that 11, Jeremy, like we just talked about, for laps and laps of time. And all it took was that number 17 of Steve Loomis to play a factor. The 11 couldn't run the very top on entry heading into turn 1 like he could. Slid up, tank slapped the wall in the center of 1 and 2, enabled the 2 to kind of get a little bit more clear out in front of the bottom through the slide job. The 11 finally gave it to him. Then you saw the 11 Solari try to work the bottom. Not enough. So I'm glad I was right on something right there, because Duranko obviously way better up on the top side of the racetrack than Tony Solari was. But look at this. Tyler Brown all the way up to 6, currently 6.8 seconds back to the leaderboard. It looks like 2.3 seconds back to 5th place Stephen Hollingsworth. So he's on the brink of getting up into the top 5. And you can see Hollingsworth is in reach along with Tony Solari. So he is getting there. Just going to take a little bit of patience. But Ryan Chapman now has pulled out to a 2nd and 3/4 lead over Richie Coy. He's loving what he's seeing. And I tell you what, Jeremy, there is no better feeling here at Bristol Dirt than knowing you got no competition around you. All it is lap trucks to pass. And you got clean runs coming out of you, in front of the windshield.
Clean, taking that word lightly around dirt. But we are going to kick it over to picture-in-picture commercial break here, as we got just under 40 laps remaining in this event. Stay tuned. We'll be back with you guys after a few messages.
You've just done a 20.18. lap was at 20.30.
Car high, we're outside.
And back to full screen action here from Nerd TV as we are currently on lap 92 of scheduled 125 here at the Bristol Dirt 125 with the FTSR guys. And right now, Alan Duranko, you've been watching him during our commercial break, passing the 19 of Richie Coy. That is for the second place position. Only 2.5 now back from the race leader, Ryan Chapman, which we see Diane Chapman on the chat saying, awesome, Ryan, keep up the good driving. Right now, he is doing an excellent job. He actually gained a half a second on Ryan that lap alone, so Alan Duranko making a tear. And Jason, I don't know if you follow F1 much, but that Tyler Brown pit call, where he is the only leader to really pit, I'm going to reference the Ferrari team strategy for 2022. Every time they have a good strategy, they came in and put the wrong set of tires on and ruined their race. I'm going to say that's a very similar call for the 00 camp to put the tires on or fill up the truck when nobody else did, and then it ruined his race. Your dominant leader, Tyler Brown, early on, 7.5 back, currently running in 6th place, unable to make any ground up and continues to drop back. But Alan Duranko, I just looked at it one more time. He already gained a full second the past 2 laps. This guy's going to be at your race leader momentarily.
Yeah, he very well could. Alan Duranko's been maintaining this lap traffic way better than Ryan Chapman has. And, I mean, that last time around, Alan Duranko 10 slower than Ryan Chapman. But Chap's got to get around all these guys, man. I mean, there's just so much lap. Look at all the lap traffic in front of Ryan Chapman. He must have an absolute headache as we ride on board the roof camera. Look at that. That's 4 trucks practically under a blank. You got the one guy who caused the last caution. You got another one there who's got a beat-up truck. He's got to be very careful navigating. And look at this. Alan Duranko, 7/10 of a second. It's down to 6/10 of a second. Here he comes. Look at the back end of the truck. Duranko with a head of steam coming towards the front, ripping the top side, tank slapping the wall. Here off too. I think Duranko's going to get him here just a couple of laps, Derby.
27, Ryan Chapman made a terrible call to stay behind the 23, entering 3 and 4 that last lap. And here we go, Alan Duranko to the top. Going to be almost side by side with your race leader, Ryan Chapman, as they head up a couple more lap trucks here. The 18 of McKinney and the 17 of Steve Loomis. They make contact behind them. 3 wide momentarily for all the lap trucks. But Alan Duranko 2 truck lengths away. I think Ryan Chapman, this is the time he needs to move to the top of the track, because obviously Duranko has so much more speed than the 27 does. He was currently running the middle of the track, and as we talk about it, there's the lane shift. Ryan Chapman to the top. Now Alan Duranko forced to run the middle to try to find any speed to pass him on the bottom, as lap traffic seems to clear up a little bit.
Yeah, Alan Duranko's been really ripping that top side. Like we've been talking about the last 20 laps. Obviously got around Tony Solari there, but a hard-fought battle for him. Solari all the way back went from 3rd to 5th now. But hey, don't count out Richie Coy. If these two get together and stay side by side for a while, and Coy can navigate that lap traffic, he's only back by a little less than 2 seconds, so he could very well get to him. But if I were Ryan Chapman right now, man, dude, start ripping that top side. Look at Alan Duranko. Look at the amount of ground he gains on him through the center of 1 and 2. He's going to have a big run here off turn number 3. He might have to go to the bottom. No, he'll stick to the top. Oh, but the 2 is in up into the wall. He saves it, though. That's the beauty of Bristol Dirt. You can bounce right off it. If your truck doesn't hook into it, you can just turn, brake a little bit, and slam the gas. You can just see that, too, of Alan Duranko doing everything he can to get to Ryan Chapman's back bumper. They have Jeff Bratton there, the number 55 machine, in the way. It's going to take the 2's line, and Chapman is trying to set sail away from Alan Duranko here in the closing laps with just 22 to go.
Duranko has just completely torn the right side of that truck off of that chassis, and now he's got maybe a little bit of a handling situation. The 02 is no longer at the top. He cannot get any grip these past couple of laps, and I was going to mention that it takes a complete different skill set to run the cushion line, because you have to be so gentle with the throttle, so precise up there, because you run inches off that wall. If you slap it. Sometimes it benefits you and it gives you a great corner exit, and other times it gives you wall glue and really slows you up. But it looks like the 2 of Duranco has abused that truck to the point where I think he maybe has knocked out his toe a little bit. Something's just not right as he is falling back a little bit further. 1.2 now back of your race leader. And this is allowing Richie Coy to bring up a little bit, but at the same token, we got some lap traffic here preventing the 19 from making any gains at the moment as they're 3 wide right behind number 2 of Duranco as we have 20 laps to go.
Yeah, Richie Coy just practically had to run the apron right there. Almost has to do it again as he's trying to pass the 55 of Jeff Bratton there on the bottom side. As Bratton's up on the top now, he enters into turn number 3. But hey, listen, Jeremy, it's not over yet. Alan Duranco may be back by a second and a quarter, but he still very well could win this race. Look at Chapman. He's still in reach, and the 2 has gotten back up into his rhythm, ripping that cushion up on the top side, not hitting the wall, nothing. Gets a great run, and look at the ground he makes up. Half a second practically. Oh, don't overcook it, Ryan. Or not Ryan, Allen, excuse me. He almost.
Great, another 3 starts in my car won't shift from 3rd to 4th.
2/10 there. The 2 knows he's faster. I bet you he knows he's faster.
It's not been shifting from 3rd to 4th.
Shoving it in there so dang hard up on that top side as we have a caution. A Roasted Gems Coffee caution flag has come out. This changes everything.
Caution number 4, and did not catch initially what happened on the track here, but yeah, this is going to reset everything. This is going to bring Tyler Brown potentially back into the picture. He struggled massively getting around some of these trucks for position, and it looks like kicking it back, really slow truck to 89 on Maxwell Solch, potentially the one to bring out this caution. On the front stretch here, he just came out of turn 4, and the truck essentially died, went to the bottom, and he did stop and parked it, but it was just enough for the admin officials on the iRacing platform itself to go, you know what, there's a hurt truck there at the bottom, we need to throw the caution, which we know you can't do that. You have to pull down below the apron. You got to do it in pit road. You can't just park on the front stretch to get out of your truck. And that's going to change the landscape of this race, like you mentioned. Does the 27, can he get a good restart now over the 2? It brings Richie Coy into the picture. 4th place, Stephen Hollingsworth. He's been holding up pretty well. So we might see some new people here contend for this top 5.
Well, first off, I'm not going to lie. I think Maxwell Solch probably should have stopped the truck in pit road like you were saying. I really don't know what he was doing. Practically almost slapped the wall there out of 4 and just decided to just zip right across the racetrack. Thankfully, nobody was coming and just decided to slam the inside wall and park it. I mean, yes, I know there's no brakes, but come on. You know, be a little smarter. You know how sensitive some of these cautions are, especially here at Bristol Dirt, due to, you know, the iRacing service, knowing that these drivers are going to be losing it a lot, and some guys are going to be much slower than usual, and if you go a certain speed at a certain angle on some of these racetracks, the cautions will be triggered. I don't believe that was an admin caution thrown. I think that was just the iRacing service throwing the yellow, because obviously that is up on the racing surface still. So that is probably why iRacing more than likely did throw the caution. But, I mean, Maxwell Solch just probably needed to get to pit road there. Unfortunate night for his end after a struggling performance, 37 laps down, 25th. But like we were just talking about, Jeremy, like you mentioned, a lot of these guys are going to have a good restart here. And look who's back up into the picture, Tyler Brown. After you said, the strategy might not play a factor, here he is, going to be restarting in the 5th spot. Going to have to work that bottom, though. He can't rip that top like he's been. You just see him. He's trying to get some dirt
30 laps
on those
still.
tires, get a little bit more grip on them, because everywhere where there's grip, that's just going to put some grip on your tires. You see some of these guys really going to the inside, searching for grip, searching for dirt to put on their tires to try to help them progress through this field here when they do get back to the green flag.
See if I use the clutch this time, if it'll actually shift.
He's going to be the one to watch in that I circle here on my clipboard for this restart.
Yeah, he's definitely circled on mine. We know he has the speed, but that extra fuel in the tank that everybody else does not have, I think it's playing dividends not to his favor. I feel like he's going to struggle here, but I know he's got some speed. If he can get a great launch entering the corner, he can at least clear the 11 and the 30, put himself in the top 5, and then maybe go to the top as quick as possible to run that Alan Duranco line where he just destroying the truck and able to keep the speed. You mentioned it during the pre-race that aerodynamics is not a thing. And clear as day. The number 2 does not have a right side panel, and he's still running fast. So I'm hearing about know,
Full course
next 10
caution,
seconds,
watch
we're
out.
going to see
Pace
exactly
car is out.
how this restart's going to
Single
prevail as we have
file,
11
behind car 30.
laps to go.
I have no idea. I was involved, but I don't know if I did it or what.
Alan DeRonco, exactly what he needed. The whole inside line really had a massive checkup. 3 wide for the race lead with 30. Hollingsworth, the 2 of DeRonco, and the 27 to Chapman, who's come back strong to the bottom of 1 and 2. Little contact midfield, no problem, still going straight. DeRonco using the wall, and here's 19 Richie Coy. Ryan Chapman goes around with Stephen Hollingsworth. 5th caution night presented by Rusty Jim.
I don't know.
Some of your race leaders are still wrecking. Nick Goebel, one of those guys. And more wrecking happened with the 20.
I don't know if the 30 went in or what happened, but I ended up getting into the side of the 30.
Guys in your top 5, and you said it when the last caution came out. This changes everything, and this is exactly what you meant.
How does the 27 as the leader overshoot the corner?
Cautions breed cautions. We're taking a look here at what happened later on. You see the 27 there. Obviously, everybody's shooting.
All right, so that's what happened.
Comes up, makes contact with the 14, gets into Kyle Milliken. Obviously, everybody else trying to back it down. Other drivers involved further up the field, heading into turn number 1. But yeah, I mean, just an unfortunate circumstance for those leaders. Ryan Chapman, everybody behind him, Richie Coy, another driver as well. I believe that was the 30 of Stephen Hollingsworth. They just wanted to go to the bottom. Everybody's fighting for every piece of real estate, every single speck of dirt that's left on this racetrack that's not mud or rubber. They are looking for all the grip they can. And unfortunately, you put these guys in a scenario late in the race where there's no
That's right. I'm all bent up on the right front. I got the 0. I still got 0x.
Even playing field, and they just go for it. Unfortunate circumstance to one of the dominant drivers tonight here, Ryan Chapman. You just see him right there, gets turned. Man, oh man. And hey, look at this now. Tyler Brown went from 5th. He's up to 3rd, but he's definitely going to have to challenge Alan DeRonco here on this restart, Jeremy.
He was gifted a few positions for sure. Ryan Chapman went to the corner. A little bit hot there through turn 3, and Stephen Hollingsworth, you know, had a great line with Richie Coy, but when you guys are battling with 10 laps to go to get every position possible, you know, sometimes things get a little too crowded in one spot of the track, and
Go up out there and don't give me an option.
same real estate,
It's closed.
cleaned them out. But yeah, Tyler Brown now has a really solid chance. He will be on the bottom side of the track, which is preferred for the opening corner on a restart. We've seen it just that last restart where Chapman lost the race lead to DeRonco entering 1, but then by the time he got to turn 2 on an exit, he was back into the race lead. So let's see what the 00 can do with Tony Solari in the number 11 truck, who did finish 2nd place last year here. So he's no stranger to running in the top late into this run.
Yeah, and Tony Solari, like I keep saying, Monday night's Cup winner, had that late pit strategy call, came in, took tires along with I know Hedrick, as well as I believe it was another driver. I can't really remember. I believe it was the O2 machine, but he was able to. It was Mayu. Thank you very much, and Dustin, the man in my ear, as always. Love you, brother. The O2 of Mayu, obviously, he came into the picture, but Tony Solari was able to pass.
All right, it's coming to 5 to go.
And just kind of drove away, but then started to lose it. Mayu almost got there and was ultimately able to win. So Tony Solari very well could pull this one off tonight. Obviously, he's been in the top 5, hasn't led this race, had his struggles up and down, but now he's being presented with an opportunity. He's going to have 5 laps to try to pass Alan DeRonco and defend the rest of the field. But also, look at this, Jeremy. Richie Coy, he's going to have the preferred lane up in that 2nd row on the outside. And Alan DeRonco loves restarting. The fact that he gets to restart on the outside. Man, oh man, Jeremy, this should be a good restart here and a good finish.
Looking forward to it. We're going to have a 5-lap shootout to get this thing settled away here. Who is going to prevail as your race winner for the only dirt race of the year? Find out here as the green flag is flying with DeRonco with a really large restart here of the 11 of Tony Solari. Not sure what that was all about, but we're early, almost 3 wide here. Tyler Brown trying to make it some gains, but 19 of Richie Coy is going to keep it on the outside of the 00, 3 wide with Lane Allen on the bottom. They go back to 2 wide. Now Tony Solari looking for the race lead.
Yeah, the 00, we're looking at him. Everybody's scrambling for positions, trying to not run into one another. You saw the 00 had to practically run the apron right there. He'll still run the bottom, and here comes Solari, battle for the race lead. He dove it down to the inside of the racetrack. Not enough. Alan DeRonco was able to maintain the gap. Look at Solari just diving it down to the corner. If Alan DeRonco slips up maybe one more time, if he just makes contact with the wall ever so slightly, he could very well lose this race. 3 laps to go here in Bristol Dirt.
Ryan Chapman once again got door slapped in the middle of 2 and spun out, so Ryan Chapman's going to be the last person on the lead lap, currently running in 12th place as woes continue for him. But looking at the race lead, Alan Duranco now has about a 10 truck length advantage over the teammates that are running side by side at the moment, being the 11 and the 19. Looks like Richie Coy's going to get around the 11 just enough here off the exit of 2 entering turn 3. Going to try to slide in front of his teammate.
I think you got him at the line.
Everything that Alan Duranco is looking at, as we have 2 laps to go at the line, or actually it should be 1 lap to go, excuse me.
Music and plug out.
Lap 125. He's got all the real estate in the world. Coming through 3 and 4, just has to hit his marks for the final time. Don't slap the wall too hard. Just gives a nice little kiss. In your Martin Sports winning moment belongs to Alan Duranco. Excellent drive on the top and brings home the checkered flag for the Bristol 125.
What a drive by Alan Duranco. Obviously, having that top. I think the moment where Alan Duranco probably won this race, I'm not going to lie, was when he was able to get past Tony Solari up on that top side, because once he did, he really was able to check out and chase down Ryan Chapman. So that would be my Martin Sports winning moment, besides him crossing the line in first. Richie Coy comes home second. Tony Solari drag races to the line with Stephen Hollingsworth for that 3rd spot. Overall, though, great race here tonight, and there probably isn't a single truck that doesn't have damage here, as Alan Duranco kicks up some dirt and burns it down up on the front straightaway with no smoke because we're on dirt.
Yeah, he's just digging a trench right into the dirt here on the front stretch. Well-deserved win. He beat the thing off the right-hand side of that thing, and the left side looks clean, minus the dirt specks. There's a couple maybe crimpled fenders there on the left rear if I saw it, but the right side's completely gone. And that's going to end his burnouts, and that's going to end the race here, as we're going to go down the unofficial results here for the Bristol 125. Alan Duranco brings home the checker flag for the first time this season, which I think we've almost had a different winner every single race. Off the fact check myself momentarily. Richie Coy is going to bring it home in 2nd. Tony Solari 3rd. Stephen Hollingsworth 4th. Tyler Brown ends up in 5th. Lane Allen 6th place. Justin Diltz up 20 positions to find himself in 7th. Kyle Milliken up 10 spots to find himself in 8th. Nick Goebel 9th. And to round out the top 10, Cody McKinney.
Yeah, and then to round out your top 20, you have Bobby Terrell in the number 4 coming home 11th. Ryan Chapman, after a second half of the race, dominating performance. Unfortunate for him. Talked about it, Jeremy. Spun out last few laps. He'll come home last car in the lead lap in 12th. Then we start with the cars that are 1 lap down. Michael Blackner, plus 15 from where he started. 13th tonight, Tommy Schaefer. 14th, Jeff Bratton. 15th, Sylvain Jolly. And 16th, TJ Bartel. 17th, Joshua O'Connor Sr. 18th, Steve Loomis. 19th, and Rick Webb rounds out your top 20.
21st, Randy Henshaw. 22nd, Joseph McKinney. 23rd, Steve Angie. 24th, J.P. Burns. 25th, Brody Hanna. 26th, Maxwell Solsch. 27th, Sherwood Williford. 28th place, Colton Gum. 29th, James Torrey, and Brandon Elder, who did not make the start, does round out the 30-truck lineup for tonight. And I did find out that Brody Hanna was your first repeat winner of last week. So 6 different winners, actually 7 different winners amongst 8 races. So pretty diverse set of drivers taking the checkered flag this season. But this is going to bring us to our only full page commercial break tonight. We're going to get the top 3 wound up for their post-race interviews. We'll be back with you guys momentarily. And welcome to the Martin Sports Post-Race Show, where we're going to bring you guys the top 3 into the Nerd TV booth to get a word on their thoughts of tonight's Bristol 125. First person to bring in is that number 11 driver, the Menards Ford F-150, Mr. Tony Slidlari. Do you have a copy?
Hey, what's up there, nerds?
Hey, man, I talked to your team briefly before the race, and I said you're going to be the class of field, and Richie took notice of that and won up to you tonight, but still got top 3. Congratulations nonetheless. Recap that night for you tonight.
Well, I didn't have a great queue, and I got a bottom feeder car. The car runs better on the bottom, and I try to get it up top, and it doesn't work as good up top as it should, and just it is what it is. It's not the night I was looking for, but I'll take a third out of it. I mean, there's a lot of shaking up through the field, and yeah, I mean, Richie's using my setup, so we were practicing with that. So hey, if he kept it in the family, that's cool.
Hey, Tony, man, good job, though, this week. You got a first on Monday. You got a third here tonight at Bristol Dirt, man. I ran these things yesterday night, man, and it was a handful, 90 laps on the fixed setup. That was a handful, man. How did you feel tonight in your sim rig, ripping some dirt for 125 laps, my friend?
I love the dirt, so I don't do even too much of it in lobby. I don't know, just many years of settle course of drifting. I got kind of a knack for it. I enjoy it. You don't have to worry about tires, which is kind of a nice bonus. And yeah, I wish all the tracks had dirt on them, to be honest. But it is what it is. I'm kind of the dirt guy in our little group, and Richie's no slouch either. And Brody unfortunately had some early incident and kind of took him out. But yeah, we're feeling pretty strong tonight.
Yeah, I would say so. Brody definitely had multiple incidents throughout the field, kind of clogged him back to the rear. And yeah, you do it on the VR headset too. I've not tried dirt on VR. I'm sure it's an experience all by itself, but all that drifting is coming to you, and you're on a little roll here. You won on Monday. You got a top 3 here tonight. So just hopefully you continue that momentum and finish out this season strong. But the floor is yours. Who would you like to thank before we let you go this evening?
Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to Monday, and thank again to Mom and Dad, and I know they're probably out there in Vegas watching, and thanks to the team and Brody, Richie, and Bobby, and yeah, thanks to you guys, thanks to the league, thanks to all the competitors that actually showed up tonight. I know it's not everybody's forte, and a little bit more cautious than we wanted, but yeah, it was a good deal. Thanks to all you guys out there.
Yeah, man, appreciate it, and have a good rest of your night. And we'll catch you on Monday for the Cup race here.
Sounds good. We'll see you then. Thanks.
All right, man. And that was our third place finisher, Mr. Tony Solari, and now we're gonna bring in second place here, Tony's teammate Richie Coy, driver of the 19 Ford F-150. Do you have a copy?
What's up, nerds?
Having a ball up here watching this dirt race, and I just mentioned to Tony too. I went to your guys' channel right before, and I said that Tony's the class of the team, and you said, hey, and then here you are, one spot ahead of him, being the class tonight. So, did I set that momentum for you to outdo your teammates tonight?
No, not really. Except I will tell you, I do when Tony. We had that last restart going down the backstretch. That did pop into my mind that Jeremy said, and maybe gave me a little extra motivation on that last restart. Man, I felt like Max Verstappen out there with my restarts. Holy cow, did they suck?
Especially from last week, right?
What's that?
No kidding. Yeah, he had not a good time there in Australia.
No, my restarts tonight. I kept the first one. I started second gear and it didn't work, and then I was trying third and it wouldn't shift to fourth, and finally in the last two, I finally got it to shift right. But man, I lost so many spots on these restarts tonight.
Yeah, Richie, you did a good job though, man. Coming home second. I want to say I really thought that Tyler was going to kind of run away with this, but then with the amount of cautions and then him pitting, when you guys in your team, you guys saw how good Tyler was early on in the beginning before all those cautions really started playing a factor, then he pitted. Did you really think Tyler was going to be the guy to beat here tonight, or did you guys have everybody else in mind?
Nah, it didn't score us at all. We were set up for the track in the end of the race. I knew I was going to be tight in the beginning of the race, so if he wanted to go out and wear his stuff up front, I was like, go for it, man. I just wanted to get through traffic and get through into the second half of the race when I knew my truck was going to come in.
We did a pretty good job overall tonight. I think you're one of the cleanest guys up front. Everybody else was just beating and banging, and especially your race winner. He was just all over that outside wall, getting every inch of the track possible. So clean drive out there tonight. You're going to capitalize on Ryan Chapman's late woes. He was 26 points ahead of you entering tonight. And you're probably going to be within 10 points after this thing's all said and done. So just congratulations. Floor is yours. Who would you like to thank before we let you go this evening?
Before I thank anybody, I don't really know what happened. I just went back and kind of looked at a replay of that Ryan Chapman deal with the 30 there, and when I went in that corner, the only thing I could see was the 30 sideways. I couldn't even see Ryan. So I guess he might have slowed up a little bit or got a little too sideways. And the next thing I know, the 30 was backing up to me, and I kind of got into the side of the 30, and it looks like that popped to Ryan. So I apologize for that. Obviously, I no idea that was going on because I couldn't see him, and totally accident right there. So sucks for him. He had a great race tonight going, but thanks to my teammate Tony. Tony's set up in the car tonight. Although I did make a change for qualifying, and he got on me about that, and we see who got the pole. But yeah, it was thanks for him for his hard work on the dirt setup here. Thanks to Fury Motorsports, Bobby and Brody. Thanks to you guys. Can't wait to watch it back. Should be a pretty entertaining race. And thanks to the league and everybody who watches.
Appreciate all the kind words, dude. And go and have a good rest of your night. And we'll catch you Monday here on the dirt surface once again.
All right. Got to go clean up my shoes here. They're full of mud.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Good luck doing that alone.
All right. Good night, guys.
All right. Good night. And that was the 19 of the Martin Sports Ford F-150 finishing P2. And now to bring in the last guy, which is going to be in the victory lane here, Mr. Alan Duranco, 7 winners amongst 8 different races. Do you have a copy?
Yes, I do. How's it going, guys?
Going pretty good. You're completing the Ford F-150 trifecta, so Ford definitely dominant here on dirt tonight. And hell of a drive by you. You were one of the few guys to go up to the wall early, and you dug that groove in all by yourself, and I think you destroyed basically the whole right side of that truck. Did anything break on the truck? Because at one point you started falling away from Chapman, and I thought maybe you broke a toe or something. How was that truck handling after a while?
Yeah, actually, it was handling really well, and there was a moment there where I did tap the wall a little too hard, and my steering wheel got knocked a little bit out of sync, and it took me, I would say, 2 or 3 laps to just kind of get back in rhythm with just the new positioning of the steering wheel. And once I was able to do that, I felt comfortable again.
Yeah, I feel that for sure, man. That happened to me when the first year of Bristol Dirt was on iRacing. You'd slap the wall, and next thing you know, the steering's off, but you just got to get used to it. But man, we talked about the Martin Sports winning moment being when you cross the line, but in my opinion, I think the Martin Sports winning moment tonight was probably when you were able to pass Tony Solari, because I believe you guys were running and battling for third. And Tony said that he was a bottom guy, but he was running the top because he knew you were good there. And then you finally were able to get around him after passing a lap truck, and then that enabled you to really gain up a lot on Ryan Chapman. Is that really what you would probably say, at least in my opinion, like I said? Would you think that really benefited you tonight with how the cautions played out, and then you were able to really restart up on that front row there late in the going?
Yeah, 100%. You nailed it. That battle, Tony, man, that was tough. I was sweating after that one. And it was awesome, clean racing. I mentioned that to Tony. I thanked him. That was so much fun to do that. And then yeah, to get in that to get into second then and get clean air, so to speak, I was able to catch up with Ryan. It was too bad that the caution came out because I think I could have maybe gotten Ryan without the caution. And then of course after the caution happened, I think Ryan got in that incident, which put him a little bit further back. But yeah, no, I would totally agree with your assessment there.
And Jason on the money for sure. I'd have to agree. That'd be one of my most notable moments on the track too, to help you propel yourself to the victory tonight. Floor is yours. Who would you like to thank before we let you go this evening?
Yeah, I'd like to first and foremost thank Nerd TV and Full Throttle Sim. You guys put on a great show. Love racing here. Love watching the broadcast. I want to thank Elevated Esports, Flex Motorsports, Artfly, Sim Motion, 213 Simware, RC Gaming. If there's any more that I forget, I apologize. But yeah, it was just awesome night tonight. Finally got the monkey off my back, and looking forward to winning a few more this season, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to it as well. And go ahead and celebrate with the team, man. Awesome job tonight, and we'll catch you here next week.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. You too. And that was the number 2 there of the Sim Seats F-150. And Jason, a little bit of a shorter race tonight because we're on dirt, but didn't disappoint on the action from start to finish. It was just pretty crazy overall. We had 5 cautions, I think, if I recall that right. Not a bad night overall, in my opinion.
Yeah, not a bad night really at all. I mean, there was just a lot of action everywhere we looked, and Dustin did a great job. All the camera angles, all the gyro cams that we had. Oh yeah, we'd like to see it, man. I guess, what is this? We call it Shaka Bra, what the surfers call it.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, absolutely. But hey, it was a great race tonight. You know, we obviously, at least me and you, Jeremy, thought earlier on in the beginning of this race that Tyler Brown was really going to get away with this win. He pitted. You said that he only really put fuel in the truck, you believe. Didn't look like he took tires at all. Definitely hurt his momentum. And even Richie said it himself. Man, you know, I wasn't worried about it. You know, we were set up for the long run. I mean, just look at this overhead shot right here. Look at the groove and how much rubber's been laid down. That racetrack almost has no grip left on it, and the only place left is that top side, and it was super hard to run up there on the cushion towards the end of this race, and the guy who did it the best was Ryan Chapman. Said it when he got past Tony Solari. That, my friend, was your Martin Sports winning moment. He was able to run down Ryan Chapman, and then the caution came out, was able to restart up on the top, got past Chapman, Chapman wrecks, and then the rest is history. Great race here tonight. Enjoyed calling it.
Yeah, 100%. And I see Dustin's back on the camera here. Dustin, how you feeling after that little broadcast there?
Hey, I told you they were going to keep me busy, and they did not disappoint whatsoever. I mean, action all over the track, exactly, you know, what all 3 of us said was going to happen. 3 wide racing, slide jobs left and right. I mean, you had some contacts, some cautions, which is common with dirt. Some excellent battles that just lasted lap after lap. Most notable, the one between Solari and Duranco. I mean, it was good racing all around. Exactly what we would expect, and exactly what I'm hoping to see come next week.
Yeah, 100%. And it's going to be even more fun, I think, as the Cup Series will be here this coming Monday. Of course, brought to you by Nerd TV. But we're going to bring this thing to a close. We're going to thank our sponsors one last time before we do so. Full Throttle Sim Racing. Be a part of the action. FTSR.net. Get signed up. It is well worth your time to explore one of their 4 different series that they run each and every week. Mach 1 Performance, the Cup Series sponsor every single Monday. Race Fabrication Shop that's produced champions from multiple racing divisions. So find them on Facebook at facebook.com/Mach 1 Performance. Sim Racing Points, all-inclusive league points management system. It tracks all your stats with one simple upload of the race export. If you want to make your league look professional, head over to simracingpoints.com. Martin Sports, top quality apparel to make you look stylish and feel comfortable. See their entire product line at martinsports.gg as Dustin is flexing the jersey, because that's Martin Sports apparel right there. And the gloves.
He's decked out, man. Look at him go.
We're all green and black here at the Nerditudes camp here. iRacing iFlag, notifications of fractions of a second faster without ever leaving your focus on the racing action. Find them at iRacingIFlag.com for their full product lineup. Butt Kicker, ultimate racing feel from the haptic response system. Find them at thebuttkicker.com for a full product line to complete your sim rig. Team Watson Racing Setups, quality professional built setups for all your asphalt oval needs. Visit TeamWatsonRacing.com for pricing and packages to get yourself in victory lane. And lastly, Roasted Gems Coffee, premium coffee beans roasted just for you. Start your day the right way with Roasted Gems Coffee at roastedgems.com to get a taste. And we'll be back with you guys this coming Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to see the Cup guys do it for probably 150 laps here around this half-mile dirt oval here. So until then, you guys stay safe. Get your nerd on.
All right, guys. Well, that's our race for tonight. We'll get second tonight. We have GT3s tomorrow at VIR. So everybody have a great night, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. I will see everybody